So Minnesota Governor and former vice presidential candidate Tim Walz says that he could kick most Trump supporters you know what. Well, one Trump supporter says, bring it. Challenge accepted. WWE Hall of Famer Kane saying everyone is always asking me if I have one last match left. I think I have found my final victim, or I mean opponent. Before putting onto his personal account, all joking aside, let's put our money where our mouth is and challenging Tim Walz to a charity match. For more, let's welcome in that Hall of Famer, also known as Knox County, Tennessee Mayor Glenn Jacobs. Great to have you on the show this morning. What were your thoughts when you first heard Tim Walz's comments there?
Well, my first reaction, obviously, was to laugh at the thought of Tim Walz being a tough guy. My next reaction was that was completely inappropriate for an elected official to say something like that. If I'd said that, if Donald Trump had said that, we'd be excoriated for threatening people and trying to intimidate folks. Obviously, with Tim Walz, it's a little bit different situation. But then I thought, you know, if he really wants to do this, if he really thinks that he can kick Trump supporters' butts, well, here's one right here. And in the process of doing so, of proving his words, we can raise a lot of money for charity.
And I love that idea. Have you heard anything from Walz's camp? I believe you stand at 7 feet tall. When you wrestled, you weighed more than 300 pounds. So I'm not sure on Tim Walz's exact size, but I don't think this match would look too good for him. Does he agree to a battle?
Shockingly, I haven't heard anything yet. I'm still waiting. But in all seriousness, this would be a lot of fun. I'm a professional. Now, I've been out of the ring for about 6 years myself. I try to keep in pretty good shape, but nevertheless, I'm not in ring shape. However, if Governor Walz feels that it's too much of a challenge, I would agree to a stipulation like having one arm tied behind my back or wrestling blindfolded or really anything that would make him feel comfortable getting in the ring with me.
Don't worry, I don't think he's ring shape either. So I know that you and your in-story half-brother, The Undertaker, both urged voters to vote for President Trump last November. What was it about Donald Trump that made you vote for him?
What sealed the deal for me, I've always been a Trump fan. What really sealed the deal for me was the assassination attempt. And to realize that you have a guy here who doesn't have to be doing this by any stretch of the imagination. He's a billionaire that could just be hanging out on his yacht or hanging out down at Mar-a-Lago and just having a good time with his life. Instead, he literally put his life on the line for something that he believes in. So whether you agree with Donald Trump's policies or not, he is what we need. He is a masculine individual, a masculine man who is going to do what he thinks is necessary to get this country back on track. And obviously during the Biden years, it went wildly off track. And I've just been thrilled with virtually everything that I've seen from Trump 2.0. I think he's doing a remarkable job.
All right, asking for all wrestling fans. I know you said you haven't been in the ring in about 6 years, but do you think it's possible we see a Brothers of Destruction reunion? Just asking.
Well, in WWE, we always said never say never, so we'll just have to see.
All right, perfect. What are you hearing from the people there in Knox County, Tennessee, about the possibility of this match with Walz? I'm sure they're loving it.
People around the world are actually loving it. But yeah, folks here, a lot of folks have reached out to me and said that they would like to see this happen. We have probably at this point, I have probably almost $100,000 in pledges from credible that I personally know. I had a company reach out to me and say, "Who would be the corporate title sponsor for this?" So I'm not joking when I say that it could raise a lot of money. I figured it could probably raise a couple $100,000 or more for charity.
Yeah, this could be incredible. And that's what it's all about, right? If you're giving, $100,000 to charity, do you have any charities in mind? Would it go to different ones? Have you thought about this?
Yeah, I have a couple that I work with. I work closely with East Tennessee Children's Hospital. They do just tremendous work in our area. And then someone on Twitter, I did ask folks on Twitter what they thought, and someone had the great idea. People in Upper East Tennessee are still suffering after Hurricane Helene, so we could help to those recovery efforts as well.
All right, Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane, if this happens, I want a front row seat. I am there.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me on this morning.
All right. Thank you so much.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.